everybody. It is a Tuesday. That means only one thing. It's time now for True Crime Tuesday. I'm your host, Tim Dennis. Going to do things a little bit different today. Because we had a bit of a scheduling conflict today, or a little bit of a snafu, Caitlin Rother will be with us the week of the 17th instead of this week, which is still not a big deal. We got Caitlin Rother the week of the 17th. That's a good news with her book Down to the Bone, which, by the way, I got a chance to read this past weekend. I got a sneak peek before everybody else, and I'm telling you this much. It's an amazing book. I will encourage you to go pre-order that book. That is the word for it. Pre-order the book right now. Go to Amazon, wherever you go get your books. Amazon, Barnes & Noble, wherever you pre-order your books right now. Pre-order that book, even your local bookseller. Go get that book right now. Down to the Bone is the name of the book. It's about the McStay family and the murder of the McStay family. I encourage you, go get that book right now. And I'll even do this. I'll put a link to the book in the description of this program, so you can go get that book. I'll even forward you that link as we speak right now, so you can go get that book by Caitlin Rother, so you can read up on that book in time for her appearance on the 17th. In the meantime, we're going to do a little rip from the headlines and dumb crime, stupid criminals today. We're going to bring in two of your favorite co-hosts today. So we'll bring in the first one. By popular demand, ladies and gentlemen, he's back, even though he thinks he never would be. Here he is, straight from right across town. He's witty, he's furry, he's a bit witchy. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, Travis Thorpe. Travis, how you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, Tim.
There you go. See, I told you you'd be back on the program. You didn't think you would be, but here you are.
Yeah, I just figured I was too much of a sex symbol last time. And
you do have that sexiness to you, my friend. And so here you are. I figured we'd do a little rip from the headlines today. And in lieu of Caitlin not quite being with us yet, but she'll be with us here in just a couple of weeks. And we'll talk about Down to the Bone, which, boy, is it a good book. I can't tell you. It's a good book. You know, I'm even thinking of forwarding it to you to have you read it.
Yeah, I was thinking I should just get on Amazon and go buy it.
Well,
my wife is a big fan of true crime, so I might as well just go ahead and get a book and get some brownie points.
It's one of those. You know what? I'll even tease you guys with this. It's one of those stories. If you love those stories where everybody in the story has a shade of gray to them, where there's one of those books where you think you know the ending, but there's no way you're going to get it. It's one of those books.
Nice.
Yeah. I finished it this morning. I'm telling you, I still don't know.
You still don't know, even after finishing it?
Even after finishing it, I'm sitting here going, you know what? There's just no concrete answer.
See, that's what makes a really good book, though, because now it's going to cause speculation, rumor, discussion. You can get little clubs together going, hey, what do you think? Well, I think it was person A or subject B. Well, you're wrong because I read it 3 times and subject C is definitely the person that did it.
Yeah.
That's a good book.
Yeah, it's a good, that is. And Caitlin, spent over a decade with this case. And it's well-researched, well written, and man, she just dug into the family, dug into the case itself. And again, we'll spend more time with her on the 17th and talk all about it. So she's been called the Anne Rule of this generation. She's a talented writer. So it's I'm telling you, she's
the Paul Muad'Dib of true crime.
Sure. If that's why you want to, if that's how you want to throw it out there, sure. But yeah, she's it's our honor to have her on the 17th. So, okay, rip from the headlines. You ready for this, my friend?
Absolutely.
Are you a big King of the Hill guy?
I used to be. Yeah. I mean, that is my person. I don't know you.
Wow. Reference, huh?
Yeah, little Little Bobby Hill reference.
Little Bobby Hill reference, yeah. Look at you leaning into it. Well, yeah, I know I'm familiar with John Redcorn. I know some people in the audience may be familiar with John Redcorn. The actor who played him, the voice actor, is no longer with us. I was shocked to find this out.
What happened?
Well, it's a convoluted story, but Jonathan Joss, the voice actor who portrayed John Redcorn on the animated TV series King of the Hill, was killed by a gunman on his own property. And it happened over the weekend. And now Joss's husband has released a statement online detailing the deadly event and leveling an accusation of homophobia against a neighbor that Joss reportedly had an ongoing dispute with for years. Now, here's kind of the scenario. He had no longer lived at the property that he had gone back to visit. Evidently, there was a fire at this property, and he had gone back to it, reportedly to collect a check. Is what the story is. But I'll continue. Tristan Kern de Gonzalez posted on Joss's Facebook page midday on Monday and described how his husband was tragically shot in front of him at the site of their burned home in San Antonio on Sunday night. And his story seems to match up with what was heard earlier from neighbors on the block. Here's his statement. My husband, Jonathan Joss, and I were involved in a shooting while checking the mail at the site of our former home. That home was burned down after our 2 years of threats from people in the area who reportedly told us that they would set it on fire. We reported these threats to law enforcement multiple times, and nothing was done. Throughout that time, we were harassed regularly by individuals who made it clear that they did not accept our relationship. Much of the harassment was openly homophobic. When we returned to the site to check our mail, we discovered that the skull of one of our dogs and its harness was placed in clear view. This caused both of us severe emotional distress. We began yelling and crying in response to the pain of what we saw. While we were doing this, a man approached us. He started yelling violent homophobic slurs at us. He then raised a gun from his lap and fired. Jonathan and I had no weapons. We were not threatening anyone. We were grieving. We were standing side by side. When the man fired, Jonathan pushed me out of the way. He saved my life.
Wow.
Yeah. Tristan goes on to say, Jonathan is my husband. He gave me more love in our time together than most people ever get. We were newlyweds. We picked Valentine's Day. We were in the process of looking for a trailer and planning our future. He was murdered by someone who could not stand the sight of two men loving each other. I was with him when he passed. I told him how much he was loved. To everyone who supported him, his fans, his friends, know that he valued you deeply. He saw you as family. My focus now is protecting Jonathan's legacy and honoring the life we built together. If your concern is how someone coped with trauma or how loudly they speak when recounting injustice and being ignored by authorities, then you never truly cared about my husband. Jonathan saved my life. I will carry that forward. I will protect what he built. And it's signed Tristan Kern de Gonzalez. That was the general statement that was put out by his husband earlier. Gonzalez said that he and Joss had gone to the location of the once standing abode to retrieve some mail again. And TMZ reports that we had heard earlier that the mail included a check related to the house fire that had happened earlier in the weekend. They said that Joss's home burned down after he had used a barbecue pit to heat it after the city allegedly shut off his power when the home was deemed unsafe and uninhabitable. But Gonzalez seems to indicate that he thinks something suspicious led to the fire. And I read the statement that they had put down saying that they believe the home was burned down. Gonzalez said that while he and Joss were at the site of the destruction Sunday, they found the skull of one of their dogs that died in the fire, as I had stated in that statement. and that triggered their grief. Gonzalez says that neither he nor Joss were armed at the time of the attack. He says Joss pushed him out of the way of the gunfire, saying that Tristan's life was saved at the expense of Jonathan's own. Sigfredo Alvarez Ceja is the man who shot at both of them. He was arrested on a murder charge and was held in custody on a $200,000 bond at the time, and is still in custody.
He shouldn't even have a bond. That heinous of a crime.
Yeah.
And that much rage. I mean, that's obviously a hate crime at that point. I don't think he should be held on any type of bond, and he should just be stuck there until the trial.
Well, you shoot somebody in cold blood like that. There's no excuse. What's the excuse? And where's the animal cruelty charge? If you can tie it, right?
Yeah. If you can tie the fire. Yeah.
Right.
I'd agree.
Right. There's obviously there's got to be some sort of investigation by the fire department there. But they're obviously it couldn't have been anything from the barbecue pit, because the two of them are standing there grieving. If the two of them are standing there grieving, they obviously didn't set the fire from a barbecue pit. Let's be real, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they wouldn't have so many mixed emotions, or not even mixed emotions, heavy emotions about their deceased dog that had died in that fire, because then, there would have been more guilt than anything exhibited at that point. This is a very sad story. I'm glad that he had a last act of heroic action where he had shoved his husband off to the side, saving his life.
Right.
And
right.
At least we can try to live by that example of being better people.
The specifics about the actual scene of the crime, police say that Ceja actually whipped out a gun, pumped several bullets into Joss at the time, and officers responded to a call of a shooting in progress, received a description of Ceja's car at the time. Paramedics raced to the scene, provided medical assistance, but were unable to save him, and he was pronounced dead at the scene. Essentially, that's how it went down. So,
man,
yeah,
there's way too much hate in this world, Tim.
There is, yeah, and unnecessary hate at that, And again, it's far from me to get on a soapbox, but it's. Again, what business is it of yours? Right?
Yeah.
Just keep to yourself. You don't like something somebody's doing, just keep to yourself. Right?
Yeah. Just, try to make the world a better place through your actions. And if it ain't affecting you, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Diddy Watch. I think we're on Diddy Watch now. Speaking of things people may not like.
Excellent.
Yeah.
let's just dive right in. Should we lather up in baby oil before jumping into this one?
I think that's what Diddy did. He just dove right in, didn't he?
Did Diddy do it? Did he do that day?
Did he do it? In the latest saga, or the latest chapter of the Diddy saga, Mia reveals why she kept the alleged rape secret from Cassie, his girlfriend at the time. I don't know if you've been keeping up on the chapters of Diddy. I think
it's been hard to.
Yeah, it's been hard to stay away, right, from the different things that have been going on. Well, Cassie showed up to court a couple weeks ago. She testified, but she was pregnant at the time, so they were trying to figure out how much of her testimony they could get. But Diddy's former assistant, Mia, says she loves Cassie like a sister, but she didn't tell her about the mogul's alleged abuse to Mia, because she says Diddy closely monitored their communications. Boy, this thing is so scandalous. There's just... When did Diddy have time to make records? That's what I want to know. When did he have time to actually
I'm not sure Diddy's even put anything out for decades. Like,
How long has it been? I think it's probably been the 2010s since anything actually came out from him, right?
yeah. Well, I mean, I would say it was probably like near 9/11. I think the last time I'd heart anything from him, but
Well, to be fair, I think it was probably 2011, 2012, 2013 was the last time he had anything chart worthy. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he's probably just been playing Epstein this whole time instead of making records, you know?
I mean, he did have the Ciroc stuff out. So, I mean, he had a liquor franchise. So he was living off that for the longest time. But she didn't tell Cassie about the mogul's alleged abuse because she says Diddy closely monitored their communications and he'd even put tracking devices on Cassie's car. A little possessive.
Yeah.
There's some issues there, right? Mia took the stand for a third day of testimony Monday, and Diddy's defense attorney, Brian Steele, asked her why she wouldn't tell Cassie about Diddy allegedly raping her. She responded by claiming Diddy could find out what she told Cassie, saying he routinely took her and Cassie's phones, presumably to search through them. He would even go so far as to put tracking devices on Cassie's car, with Mia telling the court, "I'm not sure what he's capable of. I was terrified." So he's looking through phones. He's got tracking devices out there. He pretty much knows the movements of both women, right?
Well, if he wanted to keep them from communicating to one another and putting the fear in them so that their subconscious was constantly paranoid about being caught or discovered of talking to the other. I mean, I can understand that. That's a grandmaster chess move there.
Yeah. Yeah. Mia testified against Diddy on Thursday and Friday of last week, detailing Diddy's alleged treatment toward her while she worked as his assistant, including the time she claims he sexually assaulted her. Mia became emotional on the stand at times, breaking down in tears while testifying that Diddy forced her to perform oral sex on him during one incident. While she admitted she talked about some of Diddy's alleged violent outbursts near the end of her employment with him, Mia says she never planned on discussing the sexual assaults publicly, claiming she planned to take them to her grave. Though Monday, we learned she ended up telling prosecutors and federal investigators when they came to her about the Diddy case. Steele claims the conversation happened in June of 2024. And Mia says she doesn't remember the exact date, but she does remember that horrible conversation. Mia's testimony has also touched upon major celebrities, including R. Kelly, who she mentioned in a text to Diddy regarding a dream that she had. Boy, that's got to be a horrible nightmare. R. Kelly just comes up in your dreams.
Yeah. I mean, either the waterworks or the dog fighting. I mean, which...
The waterworks. Oh, dear God. All right. In our next story, I asked you, I know off air, about the crypto torture case and if you had heard anything about it.
I have not.
No, not about the crypto torture case? Okay. It's kind of an unusual case in that, and even I can't even get down to half of this, but I just know that right now, if you've got any type of cryptocurrency, you're under the threat of basically being bum rushed and having the stuff taken from you. I mean, this seems to be the latest crime. There's not a lot of things lately that can be taken off your person. It's like having a ton of cash in your house, right? And someone just basically coming up and robbing you. It seems like right now thieves are wanting to basically come up and get your crypto wallet. They want to come up, take your crypto wallet and abscond with it because it's not traceable.
Well, I suppose it's a way smarter crime than just robbing a bank or hitting an armored car. There's really no threat other than the one victim, right?
Yeah, right.
Bum rushing them. It makes a lot of sense, but it's got to be a really difficult thing to launder or get rid of. Would you think, or is
no?
If anything,
it's easier because with cryptocurrency, there's not a trail. It's not like it's a lot like cash. There's not a digital signature to it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, I mean, would it be harder to access though? I mean, so you might be able to take somebody's thumb drive or something that might have it on, but I mean, isn't it password protected or
Nope.
No? Oh, that's scary.
You get a crypto wallet, you just basically open it up and I mean, it's relatively easily hackable, and you just open it up, take someone's cryptocurrency and go spend.
No, thank you very much, sir.
That's why it's incredibly scary. It's you just grab and go, right? And it's just as easy as grabbing somebody's cash out of their wallet and going and spending.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, I'd wonder though if it's all digital. I mean, there's got to be some kind of like digital trace. There's got to be some kind of paper trail that's left behind, right? Like there's some kind of sequence of it went to this guy's wallet and now it's being spent over here, and it was this long keychain of numbers associated. Nothing. I feel like they're gaslighting us and telling us that.
You would think, but see, cryptocurrency is spent on the dark web. It's spent in all these different places, and that's why it's the favorite of criminals everywhere, because it can be used wherever and it can't be traced.
I wonder if that's just what they make us believe, so that criminal organizations use it, and then the federal agencies are watching them, and then they're tracking everything, so that they'll all go that way to start using that, thinking that they won't get caught, but really it's leaving a trail for them. That's just the way my brain thinks, because there is no way that something is digital and doesn't leave any type of trail, right? Like in law enforcement, we learned that every copying machine out there, everything that has ever been scanned, printed, anything from a copy machine is always on its little hard drive. It never goes away, no matter what. Mm-hmm. Your phone, no matter what you've ever deleted on it, is still there.
Yeah.
Always. Like there's got to be some kind of traceable line. I don't know.
You would think, and you would hope. For the sake of what for the sake of what you put into cryptocurrency and the amount of money some people put into cryptocurrency. But I've read horror stories here on the show of people who threw away a thumb drive thinking that, or accidentally threw away a thumb drive, and there was one story recently. Mally and I read one on Supernatural News. Guy gets rid of a thumb drive, or accidentally gets rid of a thumb drive, and it's worth $1 billion.
$1 billion.
And it's sitting in a junkyard. And he's trying to think of how much money it would take to try and dig up this junkyard to try and find a $1 billion thumb drive.
Well, Tim, it sounds like you and I need to make an investment and just go buy a junkyard.
See, but he's already figured out what it would take to cordon off this, and whether it makes sense financially. And believe it or not, it doesn't make sense financially. He's figured out per square foot how much manpower it would take to try and dig up this entire junkyard just to find this one thumb drive. And it doesn't economically make sense to him to hire the machinery and the manpower to find one thumb drive.
Oh my God.
That's worth it.
It's a modern day treasure hunt. And that's how you do it.
And that's how you do it.
You make it a modern day treasure hunt, and you say, hey, everybody in America, here's the location. If you find this thumb drive, I can unlock it.
But see, he's already done the math. I have to find the story, because it's again, brother, I'd have to break it down for you. And once the math is all done for you, you go, you know what? It makes sense. It doesn't make sense to do it.
Oh, so just $1 billion, poof.
Yeah, gone. Because it may not hold its value by the time you get to it.
Oh.
Because the crypto market does this.
Ah.
Right? roller coaster.
Okay, yeah, okay.
If it ascends, if the value ascends, sure, it's worth it. But if it descends by the time you get to it,
wow,
you've screwed yourself out of money.
Oh man. Like, what a punch to the gut. That has to be the worst feeling in the world.
Right. So,
I thought I'd just get rid of the grandkids' photos from last summer.
Right. It's not like taking, $500,000 and burying it in the ground and saying, okay, this is $500,000 I'm burying in the ground. You're burying an unknown quantity in the ground, or, you're throwing away a certain unknown something. Like, let's say it's like taking a Mickey Mantle baseball card. Oh, that's a bad example. It's like taking a Roy Smalley baseball card from Minnesota Twins Roy Smalley baseball card. You have no idea, right? It could be worth 25 cents or it could be worth $25 million.
Well, apparently I don't know about crypto either. So
there you go. Right.
It's its own example.
Yeah. It could be worth, or it could be worth Aaron Judge. Okay. It could be an Aaron Judge rookie card. Right now, an Aaron Judge rookie card is worth quite a bit, but in 10 years, is it going to be the Holy Grail, or is it going to be worth a nice princely sum?
Well, if it was a painting of you, Tim, dressed up like a French girl, it would be priceless.
Thanks. Boy, that's a horrible example. Boy, I'm belaboring the point here. Okay, so back to the story. Now that we can get that mental picture of me dressed up like a little French girl out of our heads. In this crypto torture case. So basically, these thieves come along. This guy's got this crypto wallet. Boom, they hit him. They take his wallet. They tie him up. Fun is had by all. They get his money. Okay. They've got video of him. Well, the video shows that this alleged victim was tied up. They have him cooking crack 5 days after his alleged capture. Here's the story. The Italian businessman who was allegedly kidnapped and tortured in New York City for nearly 3 weeks wasn't always in distress during that period, according to a bizarre video of him cooking crack in an air fryer.
In an air fryer?
Well, we all got to get our crack somehow. TMZ has obtained a 20-second clip which seemingly illustrates a much different picture of Michael Valentino Teofrasto Carturin and his alleged captivity in the Soho townhome, where police say that John Welts and William Duplessis tortured him for 17 days. In the video, Carturin appears to be tied around the chest in a wheelchair, but his hands are free, and he's smiling and joking with at least 3 people in the room. Well, every once in a while, a little gallows humor never hurts, right?
Yeah. He's just rolling along with it.
I see what you did there. See what you did. Carturin, whose face has been blurred in the video that I'm looking at. I tell you what, I'll post this in the description of the program so you can watch the video for yourself. Whose face is blurred in the video because he's an alleged victim, is fiddling with an air fryer on a table, and you can hear a male voice say, "You're in a wheelchair cooking crack," and someone else says, "That's so whack." See what they did there? Get an ad. Double guns. Because they're having a good time. Then someone says, "This crack is gonna effing suck." And everyone in the room, including Carturin, laughs. Another male voice says, "Don't get me in the crack video, bro."
Oh, man.
Yeah, they're having good time. They're having good times over air fryer crack.
Man, and so like the local cook was probably, all tied up.
See?
Couldn't help. Hey.
Yeah. Here's what's puzzling about the video. Metadata shows it was recorded May 11th at 1:45 a.m. Eastern time at Weltz's Prince Street address. According to the police, Weltz lured Carturin to his place on May 6th and held him until he managed to escape on May 23rd. Law enforcement sources tell TMZ that Katurin was tortured and forced to smoke crack while being filmed by his alleged captors in order to blackmail him to turning over his password to his Bitcoin wallet worth millions. So TMZ was told that the suspects allegedly threatened to send the footage to Katurin's investors if he didn't provide the password, but Katurin still refused to cough it up. All of that aligns with the video. What's unclear, though, is why Katurin would be in such a laughing and lighthearted mood 5 days after he was allegedly held. The video also reveals that Welts and Duplessis are not the only ones in the townhome with Katurin. TMZ, of course, blurred out the face of the man in the white sweater who was present in the video, who's not Welts or Duplessis. Plus, there are at least 2 other male voices in the room. Meanwhile, Welts and Duplessis are being held without bail with charges of kidnapping, assault, unlawful imprisonment, and criminal possession of a weapon. TMZ reached out to attorneys for Duplessis and Welts. Duplessis' attorney had no comment, and so far no word back from Welts' attorney. TMZ has also tried to contact representatives for Michael Valentino Tafrazzo Katurin, but guess what? No success so far to get a hold of him and find out why everyone is having a great time with the air fryer crack.
See, it's just rolls on through for me because I've been watching Godfather of Harlem for like the last 2 weeks straight. Mm-hmm. And this is 100% New York Godfather of Harlem material here. It's just rolling right through for me. I'm loving it. I'm eating it up, almost like air fryer crack.
See, I see what you're doing. Yeah. You're having a good time with it too. I find it stuff like that. See, when someone says, I was tortured, I was having a hard time, it was agony the entire time. Yeah. 13 days, I understand, it wasn't a picnic. I get it. But there was probably moments of levity.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, if they're laughing and frying crack in an air fryer, I mean, do you think it's healthier?
Oh, I'm sure it's.
Is there less fat?
There's no saturated fats in the crack. That's for sure. When you're using the air fryer. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. And I'm sure it's most cardiologists would recommend you air fry your crack as opposed to deep frying.
So. Yeah, but make sure you use a Ninja Foodie.
Oh, that's the best. You think we can get a deal with Ninja? You know what I want more than anything?
What's that?
By the way, folks, if you want to gift your True Crime Tuesday hosts anything this summer in time for the hot summer weather, please send us along a Ninja Slushie. Do you know what I'm talking about? Have you seen the Ninja Slushie?
I just got one 2 days after my birthday.
Are you effing kidding me?
You need to come over.
I'm coming
and help
over.
Me break it in. Oh. It's still in a box. I literally, my 40th birthday was 2 days ago, and the girls got me one for my birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Yeah. But you serious? You got a slushie?
Yeah. Yes.
I've been dreaming about getting a slushie. We're about to go. Us girls are going to talk here for a second. Seriously, you got a Ninja Slushie?
Mm-hmm.
I've been dreaming about getting one of these.
Yeah. They were conspiring about what to get me, and I dropped some hints, and like 2 days ago, just got here. It's in a box.
It's like we're on the same mental wavelength here. I've been dreaming.
Apparently, you need to take a field trip
all summer long, just sitting out on the porch, taking one of these little orange Cokes, just dropping it right in the slushie, just having a frozen orange Coke slushie right on my porch as it's hot outside, sitting outside with the chipmunks, little orange Coke slushie.
I'll have to send you a picture of me enjoying it once we fire it up. It'll give you an excuse to come on over.
I'm going to have to now. See? Man. Just a slushie, a Ninja Slushie. That's all I want in life.
I just need to figure out if we can cook crack in it.
Well, yeah, a crack slushie. Wouldn't that be fun? A little crack slushie. Now, see, if they would have been thinking there in New York, a little crack slushie. Would that have been so bad?
Just enjoy it on the. What are you sipping on? A little bit of douchey drink.
I don't know, but I'm not sleeping for a week.
Oh man.
Yep. The new drink that's taken New York City by storm. A cracky.
Oh man. So for all the listeners, Ninja Slushy.
Ninja Slushy. And for the Ninja Company, you can send one to my home address. For the free endorsement. Sure, it wasn't the best endorsement you'll ever hear, but it was an endorsement. Yep.
Oh.
All right. Let's see here. Well, let's do one or two more, and then we'll take our break. We're going to the land where a beer slushy, I guess, would be nice for them, wouldn't it? We're going to Wisconsin. Do you think beer slushies are good?
Maybe like a line of cool, you know?
Yeah. A nice,
like a liney?
A liney slushy with a little bit of lime?
Yeah. A little liney. Yeah. I could see that.
Okay.
Not a Guinness, though. That would be bad. That'd be like mud.
We'll go to Kenosha County, Wisconsin, where two people were arrested in the cold case of a man who was found shot to death in his home in 2003. You know, everything goes slower in Wisconsin. I found this out, having worked there myself for quite a few years in radio. Just take whatever's going on right now in Wisconsin, go back about a decade and in a couple of years, and basically that's modern day for them. So if it's 2025 now, it's about 2012 there. That's how you do the math.
Wow.
That's Wisconsin math. Yeah. That's time travel. That's modern day time travel.
I can appreciate that.
Yeah. Now I'm going to get emails from Wisconsin, I'm sure.
Well, I mean, like I remember distinctly landing in Kuwait and having the same feeling because, like, even though it was like 2012 when I landed there, you could still smoke in the airports, the malls, even the hospitals and the ER. Mm-hmm. You know, and I was like, what is this, 1973? You know, I'm in the cardiac ward with my buddy smoking a cigarette right next to him.
You're like, here, I know you just had surgery, but
yeah, just
take it. Yeah, that's kind of like Wisconsin. Yeah. Here, have a Liney's. You know, have
a Liney slushy. Yeah.
I know we're in AA, but here, you know, it's kind of the same thing.
Ooh.
I know we're drying out, but, you know, we can't get too dry. Two people were arrested in connection with a man's death more than 2 decades ago, according to authorities on September 23rd of 2003. David Vanderzee's wife discovered her husband deceased at their home in Powers Lake with a gunshot wound. That'll do it. No arrests were made at the time, and the case went cold. Nearly 22 years later, on May 29th, the Kenosha County Sheriff's Office announced the arrest of 2 suspects, Roxana Collins of Illinois and John Viscasil of Wisconsin. Collins was arrested on a charge of first-degree intentional homicide as a party to a crime, use of a dangerous weapon. She was booked into the McHenry County Jail, will be extradited to Wisconsin. Authorities arrested Viscasil on the same charge, and he was booked into the Kenosha County Jail. In a statement, the sheriff's office said this case highlights the significant progress being made in solving long-standing murders through renewed investigative efforts. The Kenosha County Sheriff's Office is committed to protecting our community members and holding criminals accountable for their actions. But accountable 22 years later.
Hey, you know, sometimes things take time. I can recall, it was probably about 8 years ago or so. There was a member of a fraternity that I belonged to that was kicked out of the fraternity because he was arrested for some cold case murders. And what had ended up happening is that a niece of his took a 23andMe, and that 23andMe had DNA that shared with uncle. And that DNA was a suspect DNA from multiple murders that had happened back in the 70s and 80s.
Ooh.
Uh-huh. And the detectives reopened the cold case and arrested the uncle because the niece had taken a 23andMe.
Jeez.
Yeah. So sometimes things take time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right, one more before we go to break. A Missouri man is accused of fatally beating a 71-year-old disabled veteran and assaulting a woman. This guy's busy. We go to Washington, Missouri, where a 43-year-old man faces charges after allegedly beating two people, including an elderly man who eventually died. According to the Washington Police Department, on May 27th, officers responded to Walnut Street and found a deceased man identified by KSDK-TV as a 71-year-old disabled veteran in the hallway of his home. Per court documents reviewed by KSDK, the man died from being struck in the head. A 50-year-old female victim with facial injuries approached officers shortly after and claimed she had been assaulted at the residence. She led police to identify the suspect as William Wiedenhaupt. The male victim and Wiedenhaupt were reportedly in a continuing social relationship of a romantic or intimate nature. According to KSDK, Detective Lieutenant Steve, I believe this is Sitzi, said, "We know that there was a friendship or acquaintance. We were working on whether there was a boyfriend-girlfriend connection." Sitzi also reportedly said they were well known to each other. It's not like this guy went out to target individuals. Police found that Wiedenhaupt they found Wiedenhaupt in a storage building and took him into custody. He reportedly confessed to assaulting the two victims. Officers said that a motive has been established, but they're not releasing it at this time. As of Thursday, May 29th, the female victim was released from a hospital and is recovering. Wiedenhaupt faces charges of second-degree murder and second-degree domestic assault. He remains held without bond at the Franklin County Detention Center. According to KSDK, Sitzi said, "It's a very tragic story, but there was a lot of good police work from the beginning. We're a small community. Our officers on patrol recognize people, know where they hang out, so a lot of good work there made for a quick resolution to this." So there is that story there. All right. I tell you what, we're going to take a break. When we come back, a story of an Alabama man who was sentenced for dousing his ex in gasoline and setting her on fire.
Wow. Was he gaslighting very much?
Oh, God, no. Oh, Travis, no. Also, another man who had a not-so-great solution for his wife as they took a trip to the desert, and it's not what you think. Also, a judge is sentenced for shooting her ex in the head while he was sleeping after he allegedly told her to move out.
She was quoted saying, "I am the law."
Oh, Travis. Will he make it past 2 episodes? We'll find out after the break. And we'll go to Florida for the final story of ripped from the headlines. And then, of course, in the last half of the program, Jessica Freeburg and Dumb Crime, Stupid Criminals. It's coming up next, ripped from the headlines with Travis Thorpe right here on True Crime Tuesday. Welcome back to the best in true crime podcasting. This is True Crime Tuesday. I'm your host, Tim Dennis. My co-host is Travis Thorpe. Will he make it to number 3? That's the question here on Rip from the Headlines today. I don't know, Travis, are you going to make it to number 3?
As long as I don't get everybody a heart attack from laughing too hard.
Okay. It's supposed to be the serious part of the program, but he's chuckling along. Let's feed him the headline and see, folks. Alabama man sentenced for dousing ex in gasoline and setting her on fire. Go ahead, quote the Doors.
No, it is serious, Tim.
All right, good. We go to Priceville, Alabama, where a 22-year-old man will spend over 2 decades behind bars for setting his ex-girlfriend on fire in an attempt to kill her. Yikes.
That's scary.
Yeah. On May 29th, the Priceville Police Department announced that a judge sentenced Marquise Waynes to 22 years in prison for attempted murder. According to police, on the night of January 10th, 2023, officers responded to a report of a domestic disturbance and found a 19-year-old female victim with severe burns to her face and upper torso. The victim was stabilized before she was transported to a burn center. The victim reportedly told investigators that the defendant poured gasoline on her before setting her on fire, although authorities did not disclose her relationship and that they had previously dated. Okay. I'm going to show you a picture of this guy. You tell me, does he look like the type who would probably set you on fire?
No. I mean,
no.
He looks more like one that would just hold my hand and cuddle, and we'd just tell each other secrets. And
the facial tattoos don't give it away.
Not at all.
No,
especially because I mean, like, that's not even an AK-47. That's like I don't know. That looks more like a SKS. And that green dollar sign with the cream, the crown on top. I mean, that means he's financially secure, and he's going to help me through life. That's what I get from it. Yeah. No. Yeah, honey, there was red flags a mile away.
Is that a tattoo on his nose? Who gets their nose tattooed?
Yeah, he has a nose tattoo as well. Yeah.
Jesus H.
Yeah, I mean, like, most girls are always like, oh, my ex is a narcissist, or he was gaslighting me. But I mean, like, for real, I mean, this guy, he really does take the cake. That's crazy.
That is an AK on his forehead, isn't it?
I think it's an SKS. Yeah.
Wow, good call.
It looks like a very poorly drawn SKS on his forehead.
Wow. Wow, you're dead on there. And you're right. That's a dollar sign on his. Every time I try to blow this thing up so I can see it better, it keeps going to the Priceville Police Department website, and I don't want to do that. I want to get this picture bigger so I can see it, but then it highlights it. And clap of thunder behind me. Evidently, God wants to punish me for doing this. Sorry, God.
See, I told you he's a good boy.
Sorry, Father. God's like, you've crossed the line.
He's just telling you that you just screenshot and then zoom in.
Oh, is that what it is? Yeah. You've disobeyed the first law of iPad. Yeah, SKS. There's a dollar sign on his left cheek. He's got something tattooed on his nose, and I can't figure out what it is.
I couldn't really make it out either through the inception of cameras that we have going on here.
Yeah.
But the dollar sign was super distinct.
And there's something on the cheek. He's got something all the way down his cheek in lieu of, I don't know, growing facial hair, which would be fun. But yeah.
Yeah, and I can say, and as much joking as I've been throwing out here, though, too, in all seriousness, as a former law enforcement officer, domestics are no joke. Yeah, and they are incredibly dangerous situations to show up to. They are incredibly dangerous situations for the victims. Too often, do officers show up and, hey, you need to stop that and go pack your bags and go somewhere else, and then they come back and somebody's dead.
Yeah,
it is a horrible, horrible thing that goes on, and my heart goes out to this girl, to this victim that was burned. That is just such a horrible, horrible injury.
Yeah,
you have to be a monster to do that to someone.
Yeah, most definitely, most definitely. Our next story evidently involves Negan's father. Just take a look at this guy.
Yeah.
Isn't he a spitting image for Jeffrey Dean Morgan?
Yeah, a little stockier.
Yeah. Let me tell you what he did. And then you'll probably agree. Negan's father. Are you ready for this?
I'm elated.
This career criminal who was living on the run was convicted of killing his wife and burying her in the desert.
Okay.
Did I pretty much nail that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. We go to Otero County, New Mexico, where a 57-year-old Louisiana man who showed no remorse for killing his wife will likely spend the rest of his life behind bars. According to the New Mexico 12th Judicial District Attorney's Office, on May 23rd, a jury convicted Sean LaFleur of first-degree murder and tampering with evidence in connection with the death of his wife, Nancy LaFleur. A judge subsequently gave LaFleur a mandatory life sentence. The judge told LaFleur, who will be almost 90 before he's eligible for parole, I somehow don't think he's making that.
Yeah. No, most likely not.
No. I don't think you will live that long, said the judge. You will die in the New Mexico Department of Corrections.
Wow.
Yeah. You got to love it when the judge hands that statement to you.
Yeah. Pour a little bit of salt in the wound.
That's right. The defendant, a career criminal, and his wife reportedly came to Otero County, New Mexico in 2023. Prosecutors said Sean LaFleur was living on the run and forcing his wife to come along with him. According to the district attorney's office, Sean LaFleur and Nancy LaFleur were camping outside a state park near Alamogordo, but the defendant moved the camp into a remote desert area away from others. Sean LaFleur reportedly began searching for local places he could buy a firearm and potential locations in Mexico where he could flee. In February of 2024, prosecutors said LaFleur forced his wife out of their tent and onto her knees before he fatally shot her execution style. He reportedly used a tarp to wrap her body and buried her north of Oliver Lee State Park. The defendant fled to Texas but returned the following month to set up camp in an effort to discourage people from stumbling upon the body. Approximately 2 months after the victim's shooting death, an individual allegedly came forward and told authorities that they believed that LaFleur killed his wife and buried her in the desert. Investigators discovered the victim's body in a shallow grave just feet from where the defendant had previously camped. New Mexico State Police arrested LaFleur in April of 2024. The judge who imposed the sentence said not one person in that courtroom, including him, believed his testimony, as he was clearly continuing to lie in an attempt to cover up his crime. According to the district attorney's office, LaFleur was also convicted in New Mexico of battery against a household member after beating his wife in 2023. Nancy LaFleur was already deceased at the time of the conviction. Following the trial, District Attorney Ryan Suggs said, "This was an extremely tough case to piece together. I'm extremely proud of my team of prosecutors and staff who worked tirelessly alongside me for the duration of this case. I'm thankful that we're able to bring LaFleur to justice and give the family the closure that they deserved."
Wow. I couldn't believe that he would kill his wife and then camp right over her shallow grave.
Yeah.
That, like, how would that not just haunt you? You know, you really have to be something special of a narcissist, of a sociopath, to not be even slightly affected by that.
You have to have no feeling whatsoever. Just none.
And we're going like progressively on the monster scale here.
Oh, it's about to get better. I don't know how to put it, but other than it's about to get, I tend to like to stagger these so they Yeah, so that we end up just being numb by the end of this thing.
Like a good dessert that just, completely deadens your mouth for how cold it is, right?
Yeah. Or it's so sweet that you've puckered up completely to the point where your mouth looks like a small anus by the time you've finished. That type of sweet, right?
Nice.
Or sour, one or the other. All right, so pucker up, kitten. Here we go. Our next story has to do with a judge. A judge! Travis, a judge!
A judge.
A judge! Sentenced for shooting her ex in the head while he was sleeping after he allegedly told her to move out.
Whoa.
By the way, this is what the offending judge looks like. It's that's her right there.
Wow.
Yeah.
She's young for a judge too.
She is, isn't she? Would you guess circuit court, district court?
I would say district court.
Ding, ding, ding. Yep.
Yeah. My psychic spidey webs were right on. Yeah.
Good for you. Good for you. Carlisle, PA is where we're going. Pennsylvania. A district judge has resigned and will spend time behind bars for trying to kill her ex-boyfriend after he reportedly broke up with her. God. You just can't tell, can you? You just don't.
I mean, it fits a profile. This is a strong woman who is a judge. And so she is used to getting her word, her say, and whatever she says is final. And that's it. And then to have her boyfriend, who's probably living off of her, or vice versa, right? Because she's a judge, right?
Yeah.
That's what we'd think, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's like, "No, you need to pack your shit and get out of here." The hell you say to me? Like, I'm a judge. Oh, I can see that. I can see that snapping. It mentally makes sense. Yeah, stop dating judges, man. Leave them alone.
Stop dating judges. So we're going to have a bunch of angry, horny judges running around?
Be a better judge of character.
Oh, God. No, that's horrible advice. I'm sure there's plenty of sexy, lonely judges that need my companionship. Need companionship out there. On May 28th, Sonia McKnight received a sentence of 13 and a half to 30 years in prison. Boy, somebody just really left the scale open there for her, just in case there's a judge out there that wants to be lenient to her, in case she needs conjugal visits. Just saying. For shooting Michael McCoy in the head, a jury found her guilty in April of attempted murder and aggravated assault. According to prosecutors, in the early morning of February 10th, 2024, McKnight shot the victim in the head at his home while he was sleeping in bed. The bullet reportedly went through the right side of his head and exited the left side. Yikes. The district attorney's office said the shooting left him blind in one eye, but he survived.
Oh, wow.
And tell me, sir, was it worth it? McCoy allegedly woke up that night and felt excruciating pain and believed he was experiencing a brain aneurysm.
Wow.
Medical experts testified and said McCoy would have likely had a different outcome had the bullet traveled another path.
Well, yeah.
That's
even off a hair in any direction.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a miracle he's still breathing.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
McCoy had ended their relationship shortly before the shooting and asked the defendant multiple times to move out, so it wasn't the first time. He had said, "Get the blank out," and she was like, "Nah, try again." And he was like, "No, really, get the blank out," and she was like, "That's funny." And then he'd been like, "No, get the blank out." And she was like, hey, I got something for you. Why don't you go take a nap?
A forever one. Yeah.
Yeah. On the night of February 9th, 2024, McCoy reportedly came home from dinner and saw McKnight on his couch in her pajamas. He allegedly told McKnight he planned to call her mother to help move her belongings, and he thought it felt like she finally understood their relationship was over.
Whoa.
He didn't understand anything.
No.
According to WHP, during the trial, McCoy testified and said the last thing McKnight said to him before the shooting was, "Oh, so you're serious?"
I was hoping and praying it was, "I am the law."
No, it wasn't. In a statement obtained by the Patriot News, senior judge Howard Kinsley, or it's Nisley, I'm sorry, not Kinsley, Nisley, said that McKnight is totally without remorse for pulling the trigger, to delaying her response to massive bleeding, to calling 911.
Wow.
Just nope. Don't feel a thing.
And that's our criminal justice system, folks.
She's like, "Oh, no, you didn't."
Oh, for real? You're kicking me out? Oh, for real? Oh, this time? Right now?
Oh, so you're serious?
Oh. We're cooked. We're cooked, guys. If that's our judges, we're cooked. It's game over. Anarchy. Anarchy.
Anarchy.
just anarchy, Tim.
That might be one toke over the line, sweet Jesus. I don't know that anarchy is the answer.
Oh, we're not there yet? Okay.
No,
we're almost there.
We're not there yet. No, I think we can pull it back a little bit. I think pull it back just a little bit. All right. Our final story today on Rip from the Headlines. Okay, this is the one you pucker around right here. Florida mother allegedly stabbed her 12-year-old daughter, who played dead to survive after being dumped in brush. This is the one. We go to Charlotte County, Florida. Of course, we're going to Florida, where authorities arrested a 35-year-old woman on suspicion of stabbing a child in the face and neck and trying to conceal her even though she was still alive. On May 26th, the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office responded to the Cecil Webb Wildlife Management Area to a report of a 12-year-old with lacerations. Deputies said the victim appeared to be weak and in need of immediate medical attention. The victim reportedly told deputies that Gwendolyn Gerard had attacked her with a knife and tried to hide her under brush before she fled in a van. The Lee County Sheriff's Office located Gerard's vehicle in North Fort Myers, and she was taken in for questioning. Gerard was booked into the Lee County Jail on $750,000 bond and will be extradited to Charlotte County, where she'll face charges of aggravated battery and aggravated child abuse. The victim's grandmother told Wink TV, can't make it up, that Gerard is the victim's mother. The grandmother also reportedly said she's a brave little girl. She said she played dead. She said she fought her mother off as long as she could, and that she played dead, and then her mom left her there.
Wow.
Can you imagine that horror?
Yeah. Yeah. That boils my fucking blood.
Yeah.
But we know that at least mom's going to see a little bit of justice behind bars, because paperwork like that is bad paperwork.
Yeah. Yep.
That poor little girl.
The victim is in stable condition, according to the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office. Sheriff Bill Prummel said the incident left him speechless, adding, "It's only by God's grace that she's still with us today, and I pray for her as she heals from this horrific incident. Unfortunately, the mental trauma inflicted on her may never heal." That's a tough one for her to come back from, understandably. Yeah. But hopefully she can, obviously she's if she doesn't go with grandma, she's probably going to go to a foster home.
Yeah.
And
that's no bueno.
Hopefully there's another set of parents that can take better care of her.
Yeah.
That
the kid stuff that I hate more than anything. Remember the interview we did years ago where I even talked about my own background.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I hope mom gets her just rewards for this.
Oh yeah. Most definitely. So that'll do it for Rip from the Headlines. That's that for now. And of course, with that, we need to lighten things up a little bit. So we're going to do that here in just a moment. But as you said, ACTJ is no longer, correct?
Yeah, no, it's retired out. We let all the air out of the tire on it.
Okay, all right. Do you have any other projects in the hopper?
Just you, Timmy.
Oh, since you made that so sweet, maybe there is a number 3.
No, nothing in the hopper at the moment. I'm just freelancing, having my fun time here and there. When you call and throw up the bat signal, I come and appease.
Well, I will tell you this. There was how should I put this? There was much clamor in the chat room and many people saying, Travis was pretty good. I think you should bring him by more often. So I thought, well, maybe I should. Yeah.
Well, we'll have to get some glitter in my beard and make it more appealing or something. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out, Tim.
So we'll have to bring you by for a supernatural news or something in the future when Mally's obnoxious neighbors decide they want to start doing more home improvement projects in the middle of nowhere.
She should just hit him with some of her malware.
I see what you did there.
Oh!
They do have, by the way, the fence project that never ends over there.
Is it still going on?
It's still going on. It was supposed to be a 1-week project. They were just going to erect a small fence. And this thing is,
she has the same contractors that did my basement. That was supposed to take 2 months, and then it was a year and a half and never got done.
Yeah, this thing's going to take like 4 years. It's a 4-year project, I think, because now there's talk of a cement pad that's going to be laid down, and I don't know. It's going to take more years than it took to erect the Metrodome in downtown Minneapolis just to do a small fence and a cement pad. So
we'll have to figure out another studio option for Mal.
Yeah, right.
We'll just do it Joe Rogan style. Get a big old long table.
Yep.
3-4 friendly faces and a microphone.
That's right. Something for her. I don't know. But yeah, it's funny because from week to week, it's like, well, I don't know. It's like, because the funny thing about these contractors, I know I'm talking out of school here, but just real quick, so that you know what the situation is for tomorrow. We won't know until the actual time to record because these contractors don't know if they're going to come in and work a quarter day, half day, full day. It just depends on how they feel, evidently. And when they come in and work, I think it depends on if they pack a lunch or if they're going to go out to lunch. If they have a big lunch, then they knock off early. They get sleepy. I don't know what happens. It's a crapshoot, really.
What we need to do is make them all fans of your show.
Oh, true. Yeah. Yeah. Just tell them when we're recording, and then they'll come watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we know we're going to be able to record.
Turn off all your power tools and
and come watch.
In the background.
Yeah. Well, that'll be good. All right. Well, let's wrap things up here. And it's time for us to switch gears. So you get two co-hosts for the price of one today. So we'll switch gears now. It's time now for us to lighten things up a bit. It's time now for us to bring in Jessica Freeburg. It's time now for Dumb Crimes and Stupid Criminals.
It's Crayon News story time.
What happened with this dude, Christ Bearer? I heard he
cut his penis off and then jumped off a balcony.
Suspect pulls gun from butt, shoots twice at Denver police.
What is your emergency?
I need help.
And what's the problem?
I'm too high.
You're too high?
Yeah.
It's that time again. The time we've all been looking forward to. It's time now for Dumb Crimes and Stupid Criminals. And with that, I need a co-hostess. First of all, we say we apologize for not being here last week, but of course it was a holiday week. We were observing our war dead. And with that, and we had a backlog, a huge backlog of stories. And you, of course, let us know that you missed Dumb Crimes, Stupid Criminals. For that, we thank you. We apologize to you for not being here. But of course, we needed to pay our respects. So with that, we bring back Dumb Crimes, Stupid Criminals. With that, we also bring back our co-hostess. With that, we mention that she's intelligent. She's brilliant. She breaks records all over the world for her best-selling tomes, her books, her genius that is put on the page. And the Hindustan Times has said, stop already. We can't keep up on the charts. Is she going to write more books? And we said, yes, just get ready for the onslaught already. So they said, fine. Ladies and gentlemen, here she is, Jessica Freeburg. Jess, how you doing?
Hello, I'm good. And we missed everyone too last week not doing Dumb Crime, Stupid Criminals.
Yes, we did.
We missed it as much as they did.
So much so that I got an onslaught of stories. I will tell you this much, though. In all fairness, since we did take the week off, I think everybody got lewd, nude, and crude because at least half, if not more, of our stories are not safe for work.
Oh, wonderful.
But I did come up with an interesting palate cleanser for you.
Okay, good.
And it relates to traveling and children. I made it kind of work in with you going to go get your child from
Yes, we had
California.
quite the road trip. I feel like I'm still recovering 2,000 miles in 2 days.
Jeez.
And I drove all but 3 hours of that.
Did it feel like planes, trains, and automobiles to you?
Oh, it was so exhausting. There was one point, though, I was really tired and we were coming through Utah and I just wanted to be done for the night. It was 10 o'clock and we were going to try to make it to Colorado. And I said, okay, we're going to stop in this last, moment of civilization in Utah. Mm-hmm. And we pull in and it's just hotels everywhere. And I'm like, okay, we're just going to get a hotel room. They were all full, the whole town.
No.
There was not one room. The lady was like, there might be one down the road at this hotel. And we drove past it and we're like, oh my gosh, it looks so murdery. We cannot stay there. But I'm like, I'm so tired and I can't keep driving through mountains in the dark. I'm exhausted. I'm like, we have to stay in the murder hotel. And so we drive up to it and there's a paper sign they'd written on, no vacancies in the window. And I'm like, crap. The next town was over an hour and a half away.
Oh, wow.
So I just kept driving, but I called ahead and I was like trying to get a hotel room at a non-murdery hotel.
Yes.
And apparently they had a rodeo in town.
Really?
So the only thing left in that town was one murdery hotel and we stayed in it and it was fine. We survived.
Oh, thank God you did. I was going to say, what do they say? There's a manger down the road with a bed and it's a bed of hay,
like,
but
are we going to be sleeping in my car? Like, what are we going to do? Am I just going to keep driving? This is crazy.
And you hate to pull over at a rest stop and just rest your eyes, right? Because you never know who's at a rest stop.
I'd be so scared.
Or even a truck stop or anything like that, because you never know, right?
No, Tim, my brain is full of murder and horrible things.
As it should be. Don't. Just don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was an area that was so mountainous. You're just driving basically down a mountain the whole way and it's all curves. And I mean, I'm really thankful I actually couldn't see what was going on off the edges. I could just see the little, reflectors all along the side. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, it's not as scary because I can't see it, but I also know like I'm half falling asleep.
Oh.
God.
Oh. Yeah.
I made it though.
Yeah. You got to pull off the road at that point. You just have to. Because I would go off the road at that point. Yeah.
I got myself a big energy drink at the town that had no hotels where I wanted to stay. And I just chugged it and turned the air up. So it was nice and cold in the car. And I woke up pretty good. So I felt good the last hour and a half, but
God bless you that you made it. Holy cow. Oh,
We did.
wow. Wow.
And we had one of those things on the top of the car. You know, when you're traveling and you're moving a kid home from college, you've got like this big bag on top that's like all latched down.
Yep.
So every night we had to take the bag off, unload the bag, throw everything in the car, lock it up, and then come out in the morning and like load it back up all over again.
Yeah.
So the very last night we were going to stay one more night in a hotel. And I said, you know what? I'll drive for a couple hours. I'm going to nap. And we're going to drive through.
We're going to get it done.
Get home.
Pioneer spirit. We're going to get it done.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's what you got to do sometimes, right?
Oh, yeah, it was quite a drive, but I'm happy to be here in my office with you, drinking my tea.
Well, see, I'm happy to have you here too. That's for sure. And I'm happy we're able to get things moved around and get this done today, because that's the pioneer spirit too.
Yes. Give me some dumb crimes, Tim. I'm ready for it.
Boy, am I ever. And here's what I'm going to do. In order to lighten it up before we get into the lewd, nude, and crude, I'm going to sing a little song to you. You ready? Ready?
Okay.
Baby shark doo 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 doo, baby shark doo 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 doo, baby shark doo 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 doo, baby shark. Now that I put that in your head, my friend, here we go.
Curse you.
I'm sorry. Our first story has to do with a former shark researcher that's famous, that's now on the hook for $453,000 in stolen funds meant for scientific studies.
Whoa.
Yeah. We're going to Florida, of course, for our first story. A former shark researcher featured on National Geographic's Shark Fest is on the hook for close to $453,000 for being convicted of fraud. And you wanted to be an underwater researcher. It's not that easy, folks. 45-year-old Christine Bedore, or Bedore? I've never watched, I don't watch much Shark Week.
I think Bedore sounds right.
Is it Bedore? I don't like being devoured by sharks. So
I'm going to say I think it's Bedore because I like the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and there's a Bedore on there. So.
That's probably it. Yeah. She pleaded no contest Wednesday to felony charges of scheme to defraud and fraudulent use of personal identification information, according to Bradenton Police Department, who investigated the case. She was sentenced to 3 years in the Department of Corrections, which is probably no Shark Tank, but it's pretty close. Followed by 27 years of probation. Can you imagine being on probation for 27 years?
27 years? That's outrageous.
In your 40s.
Oh.
So being a senior citizen, maybe even in the home at that point, and going, hey, I got to go to my probation officer.
That's crazy.
In order to pay $452,953 in restitution. Think about that for a second.
That's a lot of cash.
That's too much cash. But she took it. Police said Bedore paid $20,000 of that sum in court on Wednesday. She just popped out $20,000 and said, here's part of it.
It's a start.
Yeah, here's a drop in the bucket. I'll make up the rest later.
Yeah, big picture. It's like pulling coins out of your pocket.
Yeah, here, ching. Does that work? I mean, are we good now? Can I go? The recipient of it was the American Islam branch, not Islam, but Islamo as Elastic Islam branch Society, AES. The same nonprofit organization she had been stealing from for over 5 years. So they got they got $20,000.
Yeah.
They should be good, right? All of that money was supposed to be dedicated to the scientific study of sharks and their relatives. Instead, police said Bedore used it to purchase a car, items on Amazon, subscription services, travel expenses, and more.
Dang.
She had a party.
She's living large.
I guess, for almost $500,000, right? The president of AES first alerted Bradenton police to the fraud in November of 2023 after realizing Bedore had been taking money from the nonprofit's checking and savings accounts. Bedore had served as the organization's treasurer since 2018. She was working as a biology professor at Georgia Southern University in early 2024 when she traveled from Georgia to Bradenton to turn herself in. In a statement Wednesday, the AES, not the EAS. The EAS is the Emergency Alert System. You never want to work for them because it's a lot of and that just bothers the shit out of you. Pardon me, we're not safe for work territory, but I worked a lot of years in radio. I still do, and it kind of bothers me when it goes off.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Now that I've had my trauma moment, we can go back to the story. All right. In a statement Wednesday, the AES, different organization, which is the world's oldest and largest societies dedicated to studying sharks, said it is satisfied with the conclusion of the case, is looking forward to moving forward from the financially damaging and emotionally, psychologically painful event. I think you got her. Pretty much, right?
Yeah.
3 years in the clink, 27 years of probation, and $453,000 in restitution later.
You got to pay it all back. I mean, was it really worth it?
I don't think so.
Nope.
Nope. And I hope behind bars, all the inmates sing that song to her.
That would be the ultimate torture.
It would be, yeah. They're going to be like, "You're the shark lady, aren't you?" And they're like, "Mm-hmm." Baby shark, do. As they're doing evil things to her, I'm sure.
If I'm singing that later today, Tim, I'm calling you.
My gift to you, Jess. My gift to you. All right, this one I figured would fit in right with both programs today. And it's the story of a woman who took things just one step too far, and it's a cautionary tale for both audiences today. This is when your hobby goes just a bit too far. This is the line, Jess. This is when the paranormal goes one step too far, and you go say to yourself, you know what? It's time for me to go out for a walk, touch grass, enjoy nature, maybe think about getting out of the paranormal altogether.
I'm intrigued. What has she done?
This story is about a habitual cemetery thief who stole items from graves to use as landscaping art at her home.
No.
Mm-hmm. This according to police. Yeah.
Oh, not cool.
This is the woman who's ready for Halloween 24/7, 365.
Wow.
And of course, she lives where, Jess?
Florida.
You got it. We're going to Florida where cops say they've arrested a woman after she allegedly stole mementos from graves so she could use them as lawn art at her home.
So not cool.
Yeah. Desecrating the dead so you can have a cool looking lawn, I guess. 61-year-old Catherine Taylor stands accused of 2 counts of criminal mischief, according to the Putnam County Sheriff's Office. Family members with their parents buried side by side at Etonia Cemetery in Palatka, some 35 miles southwest of St. Augustine, noticed someone was stealing items they left on grave sites. After reporting some of the miscellaneous items missing to cops in April, the family members installed a camera in hopes of catching the thief in action. Apparently, that's exactly what happened. The video showed a woman later identified as Taylor walking around the gravesite filled with keepsakes on Monday. She appears to have grabbed one wind chime and tried to swipe another, but couldn't shake it loose. There's more. Detectives received anonymous tips identifying the suspect as Taylor. Cops went to confront her at her home in Interlaken, but they say they didn't have to look very far for the stolen items. They were featured prominently in her yard, according to cops. Aside from the wind chime, they also found a bird feeder previously stolen from the gravesite, among other items. That, according to a probable cause arrest affidavit obtained by Law and Crime, Taylor told cops this is not the first time she was caught stealing from a cemetery. The Palatka Police Department arrested her in 2020 for stealing from the East Oak Hill Cemetery after she took an item from a grave. She was adjudicated guilty and sentenced to 6 months probation. The suspect, whom police dubbed a habitual cemetery thief, was arrested for her latest theft and taken to the Putnam County Jail, where she has since posted a $5,000 bond. She did not have an attorney listed at the time. A habitual cemetery thief, Jess.
That is such a weird... It has to be like a fetish because there's no reason to steal stuff from a graveyard. You don't need all those decorations in your front yard.
Right. I mean, why?
Yeah.
I mean,
That's just weird. I hope she was haunted by, I hope there were some ghosts that came home with her.
mm-hmm.
Like, give me back my birdhouse.
I mean, there's no little ornaments, decorations, tchotchkes you can't get for less than $50 that are at the cemetery, right?
Yeah, those are all like inexpensive things if you really want them, but also like they're not necessities. You don't have to decorate the front of your house.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't have to put anything there. But
She just has a fetish.
Yeah.
She just likes cemetery stuff. That's so weird.
Yeah. It's almost like taking from someone who can't fight back, right?
Yeah.
Or it's almost like taking from someone's sorrow and grabbing it for yourself.
That's just creepy. Ugh.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Our next story has to do with an ex-con who was arrested for prison drone drops. Interesting story here. An ex-con who spent nearly 20 years behind bars has been arrested for allegedly using a drone to drop contraband into, again, we're staying in Florida, into a Florida prison yard, according to court records. Investigators charged that 46-year-old Kahid Ash flew the drone over the Martin County Institution around 2:45 a.m. Wednesday. The lockup houses about 1,500 male inmates. Due to a rash of recent pre-dawn drone drops at the prison, 8 times over the past 2 weeks, detectives began patrolling the area around the Indian Town facility. The prison's drone detection system had identified a common flight path followed by a DJI brand drone suspected delivering contraband like phone and cigarettes. Phones and cigarettes. Imagine that if they're dropping from heaven and the inmates are going, oh, it's Santa Claus.
It's the new manna. It's the new manna from heaven, Tim.
That's right. On May 21st, an investigator spotted a drone in between the prison and at the work camp, and it followed it to a landing spot atop an SUV that had been parked on the side of a nearby road. As the drone descended toward the vehicle, Ash, dressed all in black, exited the SUV and was subsequently detained for questioning. Some of the drone's lights had been covered by black tape to conceal how lit the drone would be at night, cops noted, adding that the drone was outfitted with a payload release lever, so it could just go, boop, and there it was. Cigarettes and whatnot. Ash told cops that he had been in the area of the prison to practice flying his drones as there's no traffic. That was his excuse. And claimed to have only been in the prison's vicinity once over the past 2 weeks. However, Ash's car was detected there by law enforcement databases like traffic cams and license plate readers on numerous occasions since late April. During this period, when contraband drops were discovered by jailers, the prison's drone detection system showed a DJI model flying in the same path used this past week by Ash. While Ash claimed that nothing was attached to the lever system that allows packages to be dropped by the drone, police concluded that there was probable cause to charge him with attempted introduction of contraband into a correctional facility and flying a drone over a prison. Illegal items introduced into a prison would benefit a criminal gang inside the prison, as gang members are known to use contraband to establish their control, cops stated. Ash, who lives about 40 miles from the prison, is being held without bond in advance of an initial court appearance. Florida Department of Corrections records show that Ash was released from state prison in 2017 after serving 19 years in custody for a series of armed robberies. So I'll show you a picture of Mr. Ash right here. There he is.
There he is.
Our little contraband guy who is evidently not, he's familiar with the stir, likes the system of the stir, and can't get it out of his head that he's been free for 8 years and can just go about his merry way and live a free life.
He wants to go back.
He wants to go back so bad. He's like, hey, homies, need any cigarettes and phones in the stir?
He misses his friends.
Right? Oh, it's so cute. Just wants to hook him up.
Instead of stealing, he's giving.
That's right. He's like the Santa Claus of the state penitentiary. He just wants to drop off gifts for his friends early and often. Kids these days. All right. Speaking of kids these days, I have to ask you this. Now, you just got done picking up one of your children. You drove all the way across country to pick up one of your children, bring them back for the summer, right?
Yes.
All right. You'll go far to do something for one of your children. obviously.
Of course, yes. Anything. And I'd go anywhere, Tim.
How far will you go, though, Jess? If one of your kids was in danger, let's say maybe being picked on or beat up, would you go after someone or
no.
possibly beat somebody up?
I used to tell my son, either you punch that kid or I'm going to, and I'm an adult, I'll go to jail.
Well, it just so happens one father is accused of running a school bus full of students off the road after an adult allegedly assaults his kid.
Whoa.
One father took it maybe a little bit too far.
I think so.
He's going to jail for his kid.
It's not really helping them out. And it's embarrassing. You don't want to embarrass your kid.
I don't know.
By being the crazy parent.
Maybe that kid's a little proud of his dad. Maybe he's like, yeah, Dad, woo, you ran my bus off the road. Woo.
Yeah, look, my dad's a psycho.
Yeah, yay. But it was a fun ride while it lasted. We go to Marlboro County, South Carolina. That sounds like a place where you'd run a bus off a road for your kid.
It does.
Doesn't it?
It does.
It's Marlboro country. A man is accused of running a bus full of kids off the road after an altercation on the bus between his child and an adult. The Marlboro County Sheriff's Office, smoke them if you got them, said an altercation happened on a school bus Thursday afternoon between a student and the school bus monitor. Video from the bus allegedly shows the bus monitor, Sharona Cooper, physically assaulting the student who refused to sit down. Cooper was charged with third-degree assault for using her arm to restrain the student from moving down the aisle of the bus. After the incident, the student was taken back to the school where his parent, Anthony Chavis, was asked to pick him up from the administrator's office. Chavis allegedly became verbally abusive to the administration and law enforcement and yelled profanity and racial slurs to intimidate them. Never a good sign. And never a good look. No. While the bus was back on its route, Chavis followed it and forced the bus off the road and blocked the bus path with his vehicle. That according to the sheriff's office.
That's so scary for the kids on the bus, though. Dang.
Yeah. Here's where it gets even worse, Jess. Chavis allegedly got out of his car then and began punching the bus and trying to pry open the doors, damaging the doors.
What? Was he on meth? This is crazy.
Chavis has a bit of a swing. The bus was able to get around Chavis's parked car and drive away, but Chavis threw something at the bus that broke through the back window.
Oh my gosh.
Keep in mind, there's students on this bus.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how crazy to be punching a giant metal object with your fists. Like, what's going to hurt more?
Yeah.
Your own fists or the bus?
Hulk smash, right?
That's crazy.
Right. I think he might have a small rage problem. I don't know.
I think so.
Small. The bus was carrying 19 students at the time, as well as the bus monitor and the driver. Chavis also had 5 of his own children in the car at the time.
What?
So let's let Daddy set an example for the kids. So when someone messes with one of Daddy's kids, what do? We chase down the bus and punch it and then throw something through the back window. It's called swift justice.
Wow. Parenting at its finest.
Yeah. The entire altercation, by the way, was caught on the bus's recording system. So Mr. Chavis doesn't have much of a case in this case.
No.
Chavis was arrested and charged with interfering with a school bus operation, child endangerment, threatening the life of a public official, aggravated breach of peace, malicious injury to government property, and disruption of school. Because, yes, the school bus is an extension of school.
Yep. Throw the book at him.
That's right. He's currently at the Marlboro County Detention Center, where there's no smoke breaks, awaiting a bond hearing. Cooper also remains in custody pending a bond hearing. There you go. That's how far one parent would go for his kid.
A little rage-filled parenting there.
That's right. Little rage. All right, we got a double airline story because we did take a week off. We got two airplane stories for the price of one, but one of them is in our not safe for work category. So we're gonna break in between two stories here. And
All
just
right.
give a breather. Brief
Give me the clean one first.
clean one first. This one is sent, I believe it was either Brian or Tony sent this in. By the way, we got contributors too this week. We want to thank all of them. If you have a story for Dumb Crime, Stupid Criminals, it's real easy. Just send it in, tim@darknessradio.com. First one is a flight from Tokyo, Jess, that was diverted to Seattle after the passenger tried to open up the exit doors. Never a good idea.
Scary.
I don't know why people go for this move. And it happens all the time, whether you're hopped up on the happy pills, whether you've been drinking too much. People sometimes get a little bit of anxiety and they go, I need out. You don't do that when you're up in the air.
Nope.
Nothing good ever happens when you decide to open an exit door when you're in the middle of the air.
Just close your eyes and take a little sleepy night. You're fine.
Right. Yep. Take more pills. Go to sleep. Yeah, you'll be on the ground in no time. A flight from Tokyo to Houston was diverted to Seattle on Saturday after a passenger tried to open one of the two of the plane's exit doors, according to the FBI and a spokesperson for the Port of Seattle. The crew and passengers restrained the person, who was taken to a hospital for medical evaluation after landing, according to the FBI. All Nippon Airways Flight 114 was traveling from Japan's Haneda Airport to George Bush Intercontinental Airport in Houston when it was diverted due to an unruly passenger, according to the airline. The plane, a Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner, had been in the air for about 10 hours when it landed at Seattle-Tacoma International Airport at around 4 a.m. local time, according to the flight tracking website FlightAware. Port of Seattle police were called due to reports of a passenger who attempted to open exit doors during the flight. That, according to spokesperson Chris Guzillo, who told CNN that on Sunday. No injuries were reported among the remaining passengers and flight crew, according to the spokesperson. A report shows the flight diverted due to a passenger disturbance. A spokesperson from the FAA told CNN on Sunday. Upon arrival, a second passenger became unruly while on the tarmac in Seattle, according to All Nippon Airways. They couldn't have been happy with this. The person was frustrated at the flight diversion, was punched the bathroom door at the time. So they got upset because they had to be diverted and got up and punched the bathroom door.
Why are people so angry?
Your guess is as good as mine. The person was removed for unruly behavior before the plane departed Seattle for Houston, according to Gazillo. This was unrelated, and the passenger was deplaned without incident. No charges related to the incident have been filed, the FBI added. The flight continued to Houston, landing just before 1 p.m. local time without incident, according to the airline and FlightAware. Similar diversion happened in April when a flight carrying more than 200 people from Bali in Indonesia to Melbourne, Australia, was forced to turn around after a passenger tried to force open a plane door as the aircraft flew over the Indian Ocean, according to low-cost carrier Jetstar. People sometimes just go nuts because it's, and I don't mean that condescendingly, but I mean, they just, they get anxiety and they're like, no, I need off.
Yeah, it's just so irrational.
Yeah.
But like punching the bathroom door, that would be so scary. I mean, I flew out to California to drive my middle child home with my youngest, and I can't imagine if somebody started acting like that, how freaked out she would be. Like, that's so scary.
Yeah. There's a statement here at the end of the story. It says, in the United States, the FAA has a zero tolerance policy for unruly passenger behavior, which surged to a record high in 2021, 6,000 reported incidents.
Wow.
Can you imagine that? On a daily basis, 352 days a year, right? 6,000 incidents? I mean, I'm not a mathematician.
We just need to help people find a little more center.
Right. 2023 still had 2,000 incidents after they started enforcing this with fines and jail time. There were still 2,000 incidents, Jess. And we read what? Probably one or two a week that are extreme?
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that insane?
Yeah, it really is kind of scary. I mean, you're just trapped up there in the air with people, and you just hope that they're not nuts.
Yeah. Well, it happens. With that, it's time now for our Not Safe for Work portion of our program.
We're already there.
We're already at nuts, right? We're already chugging along. So with that, we'll tell you that we're going to give you about 5 seconds here. If you're at work, of course, put your boss in the closet. If you're at work, put your kids in the closet. It's appropriate. We're in Dumb Crime, Stupid Criminals, right? And put earmuffs on both of them, the boss and the kids, because it's about to get lewd, nude, and crude. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. It's the second part of our airline stories. We go to a British Airways story now. A380. The crew of San Francisco to London flight was arrested. The crew, Jess. Not the passengers. It was the crew.
Oh my goodness. I cannot wait to hear this.
Are you ready for this?
Yes.
A British Airways cabin crew member was arrested at London Heathrow Airport after colleagues discovered him dancing naked in business class lavatory during a transatlantic flight. Just got naked and, hey, having a party in the bathroom. Da, 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 da. The incident occurred on a San Francisco to London service, prompting an investigation into suspected drug use aboard the aircraft.
You think?
I think so, yes. The steward disappeared from his duties during meal service on the busy flight, carrying approximately 470 passengers and crew. I would think with 470 people, you don't have time to get naked in a bathroom and start dancing around. Right? You probably got too much to do. Especially in business.
I would think so.
Right. And in business class, you don't have time. But this guy, no, we're going to take a little E and feel myself up in the bathroom. Right? Flight attendants initiated a search of the Airbus A380-800 aircraft when the crew member failed to report for his assigned responsibility serving food and beverages to passengers. Colleagues discovered his absence as they distributed meals throughout the cabin during the 10.5-hour journey across the Atlantic. The aircraft was cruising at 37,000 feet when the search began. When crew members checking various sections of the double-decker plane, well, they didn't find the guy. The in-flight crew supervisor located the missing steward in the Club World cabin restroom. Well, that sounds nice.
I want to use that restroom.
Right? It's probably spacey. It has, floral arrangements and whatnot. It probably is, lots of room to sit. And, probably magazines or
someone in the corner handing you a towel.
Oh, nice hot towel. Yeah. Yeah, it's probably nice. But the steward was in the Club World cabin restroom where he was found completely nude and dancing. Oh, there's dancing room in there. Of course it's nice.
That is spacious. If he can get naked and dance. I mean, first of all, getting naked in a regular size airplane bathroom would be very difficult.
It's impossible. You can barely move around in there to wash your hands. Right. The discovery shocked the crew supervisor, who immediately took action to address the situation. Flight attendants quickly clothed the steward using spare pajamas designated for first-class passengers.
What kind of airplane is this?
It's British Airways, baby. You gotta fly it.
Pajamas?
Yeah. When you go...
We're flying to Britain.
Right? We got to get a sponsorship for British Airways, first of all.
Definitely.
And we got to start traveling to Britain more often. First class, all the way.
Absolutely. We're going to use that big bathroom where you can get naked and dance. We're going to get some free pajamas.
Right? Pajama dance party in the bathrooms is what I'm saying on the way to Britain. The crew then escorted him to the premium cabin section where they secured him in a luxury seat for the flight's duration because he got to travel first class the entire way when being arrested.
Wow. How do you secure him? They just buckle him in, or he can unbuckle himself. Did they zip tie him in?
Every flight now carries duct tape. Did you know that?
Oh, duct taped him in the seat?
I'm sure they did. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. British Airways management contacted authorities during the flight, alerting police to the incident aboard the aircraft. Law enforcement officers met the Airbus A380-800 upon its arrival at Heathrow Airport at 11 a.m. on Sunday. Can you imagine that Sunday morning? You're just dancing naked in the bathroom, having a great time. They come in, wrap you in pajamas, throw you in a seat, duct tape you and say, "You're there, buddy." And he's like, Could I get a mimosa? Right?
Would you hold it for me? I don't have use
Right.
of my hands.
I didn't have use of my digits right now. Could you just spoon feed me? That'd be great.
Give me a straw.
I'd like some chocolate-covered strawberries, if you don't mind. Police arrested the flight attendant immediately after the plane landed. Medical personnel assisted the crew member who required wheelchair transportation from the aircraft. He was on E, big time.
Wow.
The steward received medical attention as part of the emergency response protocol. The remaining flight attendants worked the entire journey without scheduled breaks to compensate for their missing colleague. Oh, they had to be happy. The incident forced the cabin crew to redistribute responsibilities among themselves while maintaining passenger service standards throughout the transatlantic flight. British Airways suspended the steward from duty pending the outcome of ongoing investigations. The airline confirmed the matter has been referred to police authorities for further examination. Naked dance party in the first class bathroom.
He was tripping.
Tripping balls, baby. Oh, I did forget to read this one in regular, but I'll read it now and not say for word.
Okay.
This one sent to us. I don't remember if this was by Brent or who this was, but one of our listeners sent this in. Florida man was bitten by an alligator, climbs into a cruiser, reaches for his gun before a fatal OIS. Maybe this is not safe for word. Maybe the kids shouldn't hear this one. I think I did hit this in the right category.
I think you might have.
Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd said the man exited a lake with an apparent bite, grabbed garden shears, and ignored commands before reaching for a gun in a running cruiser. We go to Lakeland, Florida, where this doesn't have a happy ending, kids. Maybe it's a good thing you do have your muffs on. A man appeared to have an alligator attack while swimming across a lake. Then he charged deputies with a pair of shears and was shot dead by a Florida sheriff.
Dang.
It's what we call a Florida fairy tale.
Lights out.
Lights out. The man has been identified as 42-year-old Timothy Schultz. Evidently, luck was not on his side that day.
Wow.
Someone at a gas station called 911 in the early morning of Memorial Day on May 26th to report a man was acting unusual and asking to call his son, said Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd. And a news conference streamed on Facebook. Within a couple of hours, the sheriff's office got another call about a man swimming in a lake beyond a residential area in Lakeland. And the caller spotted one gator close to the man, according to the sheriff. The caller suspected the swimmer was under the influence, and one bystander tried to throw him a life preserver, but Schultz refused to take it, according to Judd. During Schultz's swim across the lake, it appears that his right arm is bitten by an alligator. Ow! How? Witnesses said the man got out of the lake and grabbed a pair of garden shears. Then he tried to break into a vehicle by throwing a brick. This is like the Florida Olympics.
Wow. Why is everyone on drugs that make them crazy? This is nuts.
When deputies arrived, they said they jumped out of their vehicles and saw Schultz walking between homes with a set of shears where he was accused of charging at the deputies. Judd said they tried to de-escalate and used a taser on him twice, but he continued to be aggressive towards them. Yikes.
I think that's when you know they're on something like meth, because nothing affects them. They're like the bionic man or something. I mean, he's been attacked by an alligator, tased twice.
Meth or bath salts.
Still like, let's go.
Yeah, the old bath salts used to do that too.
Yeah.
Then Schultz jumped into the passenger seat of a running patrol car and tried to grab a firearm inside, at which point two deputies fired their weapons, killing Schultz.
Oh, that's sad. I mean, that's not the outcome you want, and you can't laugh at that, but wow. Yeah. What choice did they have?
Yeah. According to Judd, the man had a history of meth-related arrests. You called it the first time, Jess. And had been released from jail less than a week before the shooting. He suspected Schultz was on drugs at the time, as Jess mentioned. The sheriff defended his deputy's actions, saying Schultz acted violently despite their attempts to take him to custody peacefully. He showed no fear of two deputies, then showed no interest in complying, Judd said. He added his deputies are going home safe tonight. Lakeland's about a 35-mile drive east of Tampa. So there you go. All right. On with the lewd, nude, and crude. We're going to Japan, Jess, the home of lewd, nude, and crude, where you don't want to let this guy in your house or near your bedroom.
Okay.
I'll tell you why. This man was arrested for trying to steal women's underwear from. Oh, well, you don't want to let him near your laundry either in the laundromat. He was arrested for trying to steal women's underwear from a laundromat. 450 items were found at his home.
Wow.
This is okay. I stopped doing laundry at a laundromat years ago, right?
Yeah.
Keep in mind, my tidy whities at the time were in no danger. But I feel for women that have to go to a public laundromat.
Yeah.
There are a lot of pervs out there.
We had to use them in college, and we would just stay with our stuff because you just never knew.
You have to. You have to. We go to Osaka, Japan, where police in Osaka have arrested a 44-year-old man. Okay, you're too old for that stuff, dude. On suspicion of attempting to steal women's underwear from a laundromat. Oh boy, this is a name. According to police, Mitsuru Toyanga, who is self-employed, I bet he is, was arrested on suspicion of attempting to steal 4 pieces of women's underwear from a dryer at a laundromat in Miyakojima Ward at around 8 p.m. on May 8th. Sankai Shimbun reported. Say that 10 times fast. A passerby became suspicious of Toyananga, I'll say that right, behavior, and detained him on the spot. Police say Toyananga has admitted to the allegation and confessed to having stolen women's underwear about 100 times since September of last year.
A lot.
I think he's got a small fetish. About 400.
September, that's not even a full year ago. That's less than 365 days.
That's 9 months ago.
Wow.
100 times in 9 months. He's got a small problem.
Yeah, it's like every other day or something. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah. About
it's 4:00. I got to go to the laundromat and steal some underpants.
Yeah, need about 4 items of clothing. About 450 items of women's underwear were found at his home, stored by color in a chest of drawers. So he organized.
Oh, he's an organized pervert. That's cool.
He's an organized pervert. He's got a little OCD happening for him. So there you go. Our next story, Jess, I'm going to show you a picture here. I'm going to try to cover the one. See if I can do this. So I don't give away the story.
Okay.
I'm just going to show you this.
Okay. What's happening?
Okay. Because I'm
a little scared.
I don't want to blow the punchline. Okay.
Okay.
So to speak. Blow the punchline. That sounds funny. Here's the headline. After fondling a ferret, suspect stole a weasel.
What? Did he have it down his pants? He was walking really funny, and he was holding
what looked like his junk, but it was way over on his leg, right?
Yeah, it looks really strange.
That would be the world's biggest package if it was over on his left leg. Right?
It would be impressive, to say the least.
He would be Ron Jeremy size if it was over there. The man shoved a purloined pet into his shorts. Again, we're going to Florida. We stayed in Florida. Why? I don't think we've left Florida for more than 1 or 2 stories.
You get scared and scratch your junk or bite you.
Right.
Oh.
Police are searching for the Florida man who stuffed a $650 ferret into the front of his shorts and smuggled the purloined weasel out of a Petland store.
Oh my God.
The ferret heist, cops say, occurred Tuesday afternoon in Jacksonville. Security cameras captured the male suspect as he browsed the ferret section of the store and fondles the ferret for quite some time, according to a police report.
What did he do with that ferret when he got it home? I'm so creeped out right now.
The man then shoved the ferret into his shorts and departed Petland.
Oh, that poor ferret.
As he left the business, the man, as I showed you in the surveillance image, held the crotch area of his shorts to support the ferret as he walked past all points of sale without paying. Well, somebody paid in that transaction, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, the ferret. Poor little innocent guy.
Recognizing that the suspect was fleeing with the ferret, the Petland manager gave chase, but he was unable to get the license of the man's vehicle, which is described... Oh, Jesse, ready for this? Which is described in the report as a white work van with multiple ladders along the top. I bet you it had no windows and said free candy on the side.
Oh, this is too cliche.
Isn't it, though? The ferret thief, investigators report, has a unique long mustache and was wearing a blue Under Armour shirt and shorts with a Navy logo on it.
You know, I'm questioning the athletic ability of this manager, though. How can you not outrun a man that's holding a ferret in his crotch?
My guess is he was 350 pounds with a public sub in his hand. He was probably...
I just feel like you should be able to catch up with him. Like, you can't run fast with the ferret stuffed in your pants.
He was probably eating third lunch, Jess. He couldn't get out there fast enough.
Oh, my goodness.
While an automated facial recognition system failed to identify the suspect, the clear surveillance images will likely result in the apprehension of the ferret bandit, is what they're calling him now.
Yeah. Somewhere someone's has their TV on and they're like, wait a second. It's Larry. What's Larry doing?
Why is Larry? Larry. That's the married name, Larry. Why is
like
Larry?
J-Lo.
Yeah, like J-Lo, like Bennifer.
Yeah, it's Bennifer.
Yeah. Why is little Larry fondling the ferret? Which I think, we all get caught fondling the ferret once in a while in public.
I mean, we hope not in public. Probably your ferret in private. Come on. I got no judgment if you're fondling your ferret, Tim, but I don't need to see it in the PetSmart.
Seeing it in PetSmart or Petland. Well, they call it Petland for a reason, Jess.
Oh, man.
Yeah, well... And I just see the 350-pound manager on third lunch going, wait a minute, come back with that bird.
Running as fast as he can, which isn't very fast.
Oh, my itis. That poor ferret never stood a chance.
Wow. God bless him, that little ferret. I feel so bad for him.
He's like, help me. He's being jostled around in the guy's pants.
He was probably sleeping.
He probably was living the life of luxury in Petland.
Just imagine someone just waking you up from your sleep and all of a sudden you're in their underwear, like bouncing around with balls in your face.
What smells like cheese? And then you're being jostled around and you're in a strange van with a lot of candy. You have no idea what's going on. I mean, you're off to some skis hole with a bunch of meth. I mean,
Yeah, for sure.
Life is hell from here on out, Jess. I mean, that poor ferret.
God bless him.
God bless him. God love that ferret. I hope he's safe. You ready for the next story?
Yes.
It doesn't get any better.
Oh, Lord.
I'm gonna introduce you to this young lady right here.
Okay.
She's hot, sticky, sweet from her head to her feet. I'm going to quote some Def Leppard here.
Oh, what did she do? What did she do?
Ready for this one? Mm-hmm. Sugar syrup and slashing. I'll get it right.
Whoa.
Ready for this?
Yeah.
This woman destroyed a car over a shared romantic partner, police say. Yeah. We're going to Louisiana, where this woman allegedly used sugar and chocolate syrup to wreck a vehicle in what she believed was a feud regarding a shared romantic partner.
That's a new way to do it.
You ever destroyed property over a man? No. Never been that serious?
No man would be worth it.
Nope. Okay, well, Melridney Robinson turned a car into a dessert buffet and demolition site all in one go, said the Shreveport Police Department. They wrote that on Facebook along with the words, sugar, syrup, and slashing. Oh, my.
Clever.
Yeah. Robinson faces felony property damage charges for allegedly slashing all 4 tires of the vehicle, breaking both side mirrors, shattering the windshield, and pouring chocolate syrup everywhere, and dumping sugar in the gas tank. Police say the entire act was caught on camera.
Wow.
Yeah. Per the police department, on May 15th, Robinson pulled up in her own car on the 1600 block of Corporate Drive on Shreveport, parked next to the victim's vehicle, destroyed it, then drove away, according to KSLA. She was later arrested. Depending on the vehicle of the car and its damages, if convicted, Robinson could face prison time and a fine of $1,000 or more. That's it, $1,000?
That doesn't seem like enough.
No. She also may be ordered to make full restitution to the owner of the property, according to the Louisiana state legislature. It's unclear whether the romantic partner to whom police alluded in the post was the owner of the vandalized vehicle or whether it was someone else. Let's be real, no man is worth prison time and a criminal record, Shreveport police wrote.
I would agree with that.
I just thought the headline was cute. Sugar slurp.
At the very least, if you're going to turn my car into a sundae, give me some whipped cream and a cherry on top.
That's right. I can't say sugar, syrup, and slashing. It's the SL that...
It's too hard. Sugar, syrup, and slashing. Oh, I just did it so well.
You just did it. I can't... Sugar, syrup, and slashing. That's hard for me.
There, you got it.
There we go. Well, we go from a perfectly divine car sundae to a disgusting appetizer.
Mm.
How do you feel about a little appetizer of toes?
Toes?
Yeah. Sucking on some toes?
Ew. No, thank you. Toes are stinky.
Well, one man seems to enjoy them. So much so that he likes breaking into people's houses.
And sucking on their toes?
While they're sleeping.
No.
Yeah.
I'm scared now.
A man is accused of breaking into a Sears home and licking a woman's toes while she slept.
What the heck? I would die.
Yeah, I think we're going to California for this one. We go to Sears, where a Modesto man accused of breaking into a Sears' woman's home and then biting and licking her toes while she slept. Oh, can you imagine waking up and there's a man nibbling and licking and your toes?
No. That is horrifying.
Wham! Right cross. Right? You're just...
Baseball bat from the side of the bed. Whack.
Would you even reach for the bat, or would you just kick in the face? I mean, would it...
You'd reflexively kick in the face, wouldn't you? It wouldn't even be on purpose. You'd just be a reflex.
Could you even be calm enough to reach for the bat and swing for the end of the bed?
Yeah, I don't know. That is so creepy. I mean, literally stop and think about that for a minute. You're laying in bed and you feel something, you look down and you just literally see the top of someone's head licking your feet.
Because, I mean, you have dogs. So would you think at first it was the dog and not want to kick?
Well, probably, because Phoebe does love to lick feet. I feel like a human tongue would be like 10 times the size of a Shih Tzu's tongue.
But would you know? That's the thing, because you're sleeping. Would you be like, oh, is that?
Yeah.
Right?
I hope I would wake up before they got close enough to lick my feet. I'm a very light sleeper, but that's, yuck. That is so creepy.
Yeah. The Stanislaus County Sheriff's Office said this happened shortly after midnight on May 21st. Christian Alejandro Solorio Anguiano allegedly began stalking the woman at her job in February. Oh, this was a stalker job. Though other employees at the business confronted Anguiano on multiple occasions, investigators said his behavior escalated to the point that he would follow the woman home after her shifts and sleep in his car outside the residence. Witnesses reported that Anguiano tried checking doors to the home in the week leading up to the incident in an attempt to gain entry. Anguiano was positively identified as a suspect through witness statements and surveillance footage. On the night of the incident, after Anguiano allegedly put the woman's toes in his mouth, he is accused of trying to get into bed with her. Oh, it just gets better. God.
Yikes.
The victim was able to push Anguiano off of her and retrieve her phone to call 911. Anguiano fled the scene, but was located near the woman's home the next day and taken into custody. He tried to come back.
Wow. He was seriously obsessed.
Jeez. Anguiano was booked into the Stanislaus County Jail and faces charges of sexual battery, burglary, stalking, and assault with the intent to commit a felony, authorities said. Bail for him was set at $325,000, which when you think about what bond would be for that, that's nothing. 10% is $32,000.
Oh, wow. That's not enough.
Which you can get out on nothing on that charge. Absolutely nothing. All right. One last story, and then we have our palate cleanser. Then we're out of here for today. A registered sex offender who calls himself Master Bader has again been arrested for indecent exposure, this time inside a grocery store in Seattle, Washington. Yes, he lives up to his name.
That's quite the moniker to give yourself.
Isn't it? And by Master Bader, it's Master, M-A-S-C-E-R, Bader, B-A-I-T-E-R, as in fishing bait.
Okay.
Master Bader.
That's cleverish.
Yeah. Described as a prolific public masturbator by prosecutors, 46-year-old Keenan Pearson, there's a picture of him right here. That's what a masturbator looks like, I guess.
Okay.
All right. There you go. Was collared earlier this month after being observed by witnesses openly masturbating in front of numerous members of the public, including children. Oh, nice guy.
Oh, man.
Yeah. When confronted by cops, Pearson reportedly confessed that he was stroking inside the store. That's not what they mean by the song stroking. It would be stroking. That's not what they mean. No, no. While speaking with officers, he was actively looking at women and saying that they should be in his show and could stroke it. They could be in his show and could stroke it.
He has a show, huh?
He has a show. Yeah. I don't know what that show includes.
He feels like his public display of disgustingness is like some performance.
Yes.
Performance art.
Performance art. Yes. Yeah. Be in my show and stroke it. Yeah.
Wow.
Pearson's extensive rap sheet includes convictions for assault, voyeurism, burglary, domestic violence, possession of a deadly weapon, and multiple convictions for indecent exposure. The state's sex offense registry currently lists Pearson as non-compliant. Pearson locked up in the county jail in lieu of $150,000, and is scheduled to be arraigned currently. So, yeah. He has a show, Jess. That's all I know. You know what that tells me? Anybody these days can get a show.
That's true. That's true.
Doesn't have to be on YouTube. Doesn't have to be a podcast. Doesn't have to be on radio or TV. Anybody can have a show. You just
give yourself a name and go on out to the grocery store.
That's right. Go on out to the grocery store. Have a party. It's a show. That's right. All right. Our palate cleanser for today, because we need something to scrub our brains other than bleach, has to do with, okay, so we mentioned throughout the program that you went out and you got your child from California, brought her back from college, right?
Yes.
So lots of traveling, planes, trains, and automobiles type adventure, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, one set of parents had a little bit of an adventure with their toddler at an airport. Although it was a harrowing one, much like you had a little bit of a harrowing adventure yourself. Port Authority police rescued a toddler from a luggage system this past weekend.
What?
Which just goes to show you that sometimes you need a little bit of a tighter control around your kids than you may think. We go to Newark, which had been under a little bit of scrutiny itself, the Newark airport. Conveyor belts for luggage are not places to play, as we all know.
Right.
You shouldn't let your kids play on them. That rule is not necessarily known by 2-year-old boys, who, for that matter, are too young to read the warning signs posted against riding on baggage conveyor systems. That may be why a toddler entered the checked baggage conveyor belt system in Terminal A at Newark Liberty Airport. Quick action by Port Authority Police Department cops prevented what could have been a dangerous situation for a small child. It happened on Wednesday at around 6:30 p.m., according to the Port Authority. At the JetBlue counter inside the terminal, a mother was interacting with the agent behind the counter when her 2-year-old managed to get onto the conveyor belt next to and behind the counter. So he just wandered back there and got on the belt. It's fun.
Yeah, it looked fun.
Yeah, it's a ride, right? We're going to see where this thing goes. It was something that happened in the blink of an eye, said Frank Conti, who is the president of the Port Authority Police Department's union, about how officers he represents got the child out of harm's way. The conveyor belt leads directly into a chute and into the terminal's luggage screening system, which is exactly where the toddler plunged. Some Port Authority officers who'd happened to be within earshot on the 3rd floor of the terminal where the mishap took place sprang into action. The 2 cops were able to move into the system immediately, Conti said. The fact that they were a pair, he added, was vital. There was a split in the belts down the chute, Conti explained. One officer went toward one direction, one went the other direction. One of them was able to observe the child as the child was approaching one of the X-ray units used to analyze luggage contents. Just before the X-ray, the officer nabbed the toddler and pulled him to safety. Pix 11 News reached the boy's grandfather by phone. Because of the victim's age, Pix 11 News is not disclosing the identity of the grandfather. The toddler's grandfather expressed appreciation to the cops who pulled him out of the luggage system and said the boy and his mother are fine. The Staten Island family successfully flew to Tampa, Florida for vacation, the grandfather said, but it appeared that the most memorable trip for them was the one taken before they boarded the plane. The Port Authority said that it is not releasing the names of the officers involved, but Conti, the Port Authority Police Department PBA president, said that the cops' colleagues know who they are. He said that the whole force appreciates the family's thanks for the officers doing their jobs. Gratitude can be few and far between at times, Conti said, so I'll tell you what, I'll take it where we can get it. That could have been disastrous.
Yes, thank goodness they got him.
Yeah. So that little boy.
And that poor mama, she just turned her head for a second and that kid was
off
getting into trouble.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, you got to be hyper vigilant. But it does happen sometimes where kids can get out of the way. And there's a happy story about some hyper vigilant police and Port Authority police who were on it at Newark.
Yay. Thank God for them.
Yeah. So there you go. There's your palate cleanser for today.
I like that one.
Yeah. So little boy was saved.
Whew. Finally, a good story. Thanks, Tim.
You're welcome. There you go. So that'll do it for today. Jess, what have you got on tap here for us?
Well, just working on more books, Tim. So if anyone's interested in getting a book, you can go to my website, jessicafreeburg.com, and find links for the books on there if you're interested. If you want a signed copy, you can shoot me a message and I can facilitate getting that for you. No events right now, nothing until I think December, the first weekend of December. So I'm so busy trying to keep up with all the writing assignments that I have. Right on.
I do want to thank you very much. You sent a signed book out to my mother. She's savoring it. She's grateful for it. So yes, folks, by the way, do ask Jess for a signed book. She
sent me the sweetest thank you card.
Oh, good.
Yes. I love your mom.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I'm grateful for that. So by all means, request an autographed book from Jess and she'll get one right out to you. So there you go. Let's see here. Oh, I want to thank Caitlin Rother for being on the show today. The new book on the McStay family is available it's either pre-order or it's available now. We'll have a link in the description of this program. So get that book as well. Let's see. Supernatural news tomorrow with Mally. And then, do we have a surprise later in the week. I'll tease it with this. We're getting all things supernatural and sciencey this week. We're getting very skeptical.
I like that.
We're getting very skeptical this week. So I have to put on my believer cap and I have to try and bust these two guests. We have two guests.
Yes. Well, I love a good skeptic. I mean, because I think it actually brings more validity to the field when you are skeptical.
Yeah. So good program coming up on Thursday.
Yay. Fun.
So that's what we got on tap this week, Chess. So that'll do it for today. I want to thank everybody for not only for their submissions for Dumb Crime, Stupid Criminals, but keep it coming as well with your parashares. Tim@darknessradio.com. For the parashares, if you want to submit a voice note, you can do so by going to darknessradioshow.com, or you can send in a theater of the mind by adding some music and some effects and send it to tim@darknessradio.com. We'll see you tomorrow for Supernatural News. For Jessica Freeburg, I'm Tim Dennis. Thank you so much for watching and listening to the best in true crime podcasting. This is True Crime Tuesday.